Welcome to our March Madness NCAA tournament forecast. Going to look at some other conference teams that I think could make a deep run and challenge for the national championship. Let's start out west in Reno with the Nevada Wolfpack. Caleb and Cody Martin, Jordan Caroline, all back for Nevada. They added a big man in Jordan Brown, and Eric Musselman firmly believes he's not just going to get to the Sweet 16, he can compete for a national championship. Let's stay out west and go to Spokane, where the Gonzaga Bulldogs could compete for the national championship yet again. It was just a couple of seasons ago where they lost to North Carolina in the title game. Well, the core group from that team returns. Josh Perkins, Zach Norvell. Now you add Rui Hachimura with a major role. This is a team that Mark Few has that can compete for the national championship. The Zags, I think, will be a #1 seed out west and get to the Final Four. All right, let's look at some other second weekend contenders. I'm going to start out in the American Athletic Conference. Cincinnati, yet again, Mick Cronin has a star in waiting in Jerron Cumberland. Davidson out of the A-10. Kellen Grady, remember that name because the Wildcats, yes, they won the A-10 tournament last season to get into the tournament. This season, I think they're the team to beat in the A-10. South Dakota State, Mike Daum, he's got a chance for the Jackrabbits, not just to get in again, but actually win a game, maybe two, to get to the Sweet 16. Marshall, they were a trendy pick last season. They won a game. They beat Wichita State. Well, John Elmore returns, and the Thundering Herd could be a problem again in the NCAA tournament first weekend. St. Louis, a host of transfers for Travis Ford. I think they'll be in that 2 spot out of the A-10, led by Javon Bess, who used to play at Michigan State. They got Tremaine Isabel from Drexel, Dion Wiley from Maryland. The Billikens certainly have a chance to advance to the Sweet 16.
One timeout, they don't take it. He got it! He got it!
And Loyola Chicago, remember them? Of course. They got to the Final Four last season. Well, there is a core group that returns led by Clayton Custer. So the Ramblers could be a surprise team yet again to get to that second weekend. We'll see if they can go beyond that. So who is this year's Loyola Chicago? Well, I've got 2 candidates for you. Buffalo, out of the MAC. Yes, C.J. Massenberg leads the Bulls after they beat Arizona last season. This is a team, their core is intact. Nate Oates has a team that not just could win 1 game, but I think possibly 2, maybe 3. We'll have to wait and see in the NCAA tournament. And my #1 team that could be this season's Loyola Chicago, it's UCF, the Knights out of Orlando. Look what Johnny Dawkins has healthy now. He's got a son, Aubrey Dawkins, a leader who transferred from Michigan. B.J. Taylor, one of the more underrated lead guards in the country. He was out a lot of last season. And Taco Fall, he was 7'6". He told me he's now 7'7". He's even more intimidating inside. Whether it's offense or defense, he protects the rim. I think UCF could be this season's Loyola Chicago, not just winning the American, maybe even getting the second weekend. Once they get there, they could actually be a Final Four team. This team has experience, it's got height, and it's got a coach who's been there before as a player. He may get there this time as a coach.